phone today. Oh. I feel like that'll help with the distractions. Minimize distractions on my end. All right. We're gonna let that be. Get rid of that. Zoom. Come on. Done. Testing. Yep, that looks good. Let me share my screen. Start the broadcast. And optimize. And let's hang out here. And let me do, it would be nice to disable that. Let me turn it off. Come on. Come on. There it is. I'd like to disable that. We can let that be. I want to close this. Come on. I should go down. I want to log in a Zoom here. All right. Oops, sorry. I keep forgetting my little setup here. I think I'm actually move this. And join. That looks right. Join. Okay. All right, gentlemen. Sorry about that. So we are here. Let me see. Is it picking up an echo? Hello? Or is that a person? There is an echo. Okay, maybe let me. What else did I do? This where is it? How is there an echo? Maybe not. Maybe I'm just hearing myself. Okay. Hopefully the audio is okay. If the audio is not okay, please put it either in the chat or the Q&A or something like that. I'm just going to assume that it's okay because on my end, it does sound a little weird, but I'm assuming that it's okay. It won't let me mute my phone all the way. And it's kind of irking me. Audio is echoing. Okay. Why is it doing that? Let's see. Let me see. Share. Okay, maybe if I disable this. Fix it. I don't hear it anymore. Did that sound a little bit better on my end? Cool. Okay, cool. So it's because I was sharing the device audio. Okay, that's good to know. Is it still echoing? Yeah, that's what I thought. I might have to forego the microphone. Let me try one more time. Okay. That's why I was pausing. I was like, sounds weird. Testing. Mic check. 1 2 1 2. Mic check 1 2 1 2. Yeah, let me try to remove this. See if that fixes it. Yeah. No. There shouldn't be an echo, and I don't know why. Let me get this over here. Come on. That looks good. That's good. We'll let that be. Okay. Yeah, okay, we're gonna go with it. Okay, so let me see. Let's start here with Pearson. Let me see. This is College Algebra 1 right here. You guys okay? Mute. All right, I think that's good. Let me see. 9 a.m. It says that 2 with unpaid temporary access. So, guys, just try to get that together as best you can. And I just want to confirm something before I launch into it. Today is September 16th, and it looks like it is available, right? So if you log into Pearson, right, you see now you should be able to see week 5. I know I had one student message me like on Friday, and I've said it several times. The exam becomes available on Sunday, so I figured he'll find it sooner or later. So exam one is available, right? You're hopefully you've already taken it. Hopefully you've already gotten whatever score you want. You're welcome to take it now if you like. And what we're going to do today, do I have a study session? Oh, that would have been nice if I had that ready to go. Yo, why you guys keep unmuting yourself? You have questions? All right, so we'll do like a review session for sections 1.1 and 1.2 and 1.3. It would have helped if I had a study guide ready to go, but that's okay. We'll do it on the fly. Let me see. Manage. Okay, I'll create an assignment. We'll call this practice, not graded. Let's see, practice, not graded. We'll call this exam one study session, study guide. And all I'm going to do is just pull as many questions from these three sections as I can. So like, for instance, if we go to chapter one, let's just limit it to section 1.1. I'll just dump all of them and we'll jump around. It might not let me get all of them because I know I can only do 50 more. Okay, that's right in there. I think it's one that's gonna be missing. That's fine. Okay, let me just remove one. And add. Okay, cool. Okay, so just an impromptu study guide, and it's basically all the questions from sections 1.1, 1.2, and 1.3 that you could possibly get from here. I'll go ahead and save in the signs. Again, it's just practice, not graded, so you're not responsible for this. Again, I'm just making it available. Let's go to view, and it's going to be at the bottom, which is okay. I can move it to week 5, I guess. No, I'll leave it at the bottom. It's fine. Okay. So then we'll go ahead and open this up. And again, what this is, you saw me do it, create it right on the spot. Is basically, essentially, all the questions, or nearly all the questions from the first 3 sections. So what that means is that you can anticipate your exam questions to be somewhere in the set. Obviously, you're not going to do that much. Let's do another tab. And let me see. Give me a random number. Nope. 50. All right. All right, we'll start with question 145. Let me do some intros. So, all right, gentlemen. So I hope everyone had a great weekend. Exam 1 is available. You can earn up to 100% for the first 7 days. So it should be due. I think the due date was like next week on Monday at the start of class. I don't really want to go back because I just don't feel like it messes things up. But yeah, it's available for 7 days. And for the first 7 days, you can earn up to 100%. And keep in mind that all of our assignments, we get unlimited attempts. The system is set to take our highest score. And there's only a 5% late penalty, right? So you have a little bit of time. Just don't be too lax, right? The best practice is try to get these things done as soon as possible. If it were me, I would just try to go ahead and do all of it. Like set a rhythm or a schedule that fits me, and then just try to get through as much of it as possible. And then that way, the only thing you really will be working on, once you finish all these like homework and quizzes, the only thing you're going to be waiting on are the exams. This is the first of a total of 4 exams. We got 3 regular exams and then a final exam. If you have questions, again, feel free to either put it in the chat or put it in the Q&A. Oh, there might be some surprises. Maybe, maybe not. It just depends on my mood, right? It just depends on how things go. Okay, so let's kind of hop into some questions from this. And again, we don't have to do these specifically. Yeah, you can take it right now if you want. Oh, I'm glad you asked that question. That is an excellent question. So the question was, can we take the exam right now? And the answer is yes, which is a good idea. Idealistically, you would have taken it before time, but that's okay. Because if you have questions, you can ask. And if you're stuck on a question, if you bring it to my attention, we can work on it together right now. Right? So, work that however you see fit. I'm just going to kind of jump around. Let me see. What is this one? Interactive figure. I think these tend not to work. I don't really want to launch the interactive figure. So if you can't see that because I can't even see it here. Okay, the interactive figures, I'd rather not have those. I'm just going to skip this one for now. Well, okay, I'm just going to kind of talk just about this image. Like, even though it's even blurry on my end, so I don't expect you to be able to see it, but just based on this image alone, right? In the chat, can anybody tell me what's the name of this guy? Like, what is this called? Right? We have a parabola, right? This is a parabola. So whenever you see parabola or a quadratic function, it's basically a U-shaped curve. There are a set of things that should come to mind, right? Notice that this guy is opening downward. Notice that it passes the vertical line test. I don't think we talked about inverses, so I can't bring that in. But it passes the vertical line test, which means that, it's going to be a function. So no matter where you draw a vertical line, it's going to touch it once. Notice it has a vertex. Let me see, 1, 2, 3. It looks like, if we're counting it properly, again, it is blurry. I'm just intentionally not opening an interactive figure because it tends not to work. 1, 2, 3, 4. It looks like the vertex is passing through the y-axis, the y-intercept at 4, and it opens downward, right? So if we have an image like this, right? Can somebody tell me what's the domain of this guy? What's the domain of this? And I want to say that for a generic parabola, the domain is always the same. Anybody tell me the domain of this guy? Negative infinity to positive infinity, right? So domain, in a graphical sense, you can take that as, if you were to take this image and smush it onto the x-axis, what x values would it touch, right? That's called a projection. Another way you can visualize that, if you had like maybe two light sources, one shining from the top and one shining from the bottom, and it casts a shadow onto the x-axis, what x values would it touch, right? So, and you got to use your imagination. Keep in mind those arrows mean it continues the pattern indefinitely, right? So, physically, we don't really have a way to capture infinity, but conceptually, in the human mind, we can visualize infinity. We get the concept that goes on forever, right? So there's a lot of play like that, whether it's going forever in a certain direction or we're zooming into like infinitesimally small regions and we're kind of exploring those realms, like Ant-Man. Imagine you're Ant-Man and you can like zoom in to the quantum realm. That's essentially what a lot of mathematics is. That's what a lot of it is. So with an image like this, the domain would be all rails. Like, we don't even need to open it up. We just had to have a quick little discussion about it. The domain is a set of all possible x values indicated by the green arrow. Figure. Yeah, I'm gonna say this one. I might skip this one just because it's the interactive figure, and I just refuse to open it. The range is gonna be the y values. Okay, that's fine. Oh, that was it. Okay, that wasn't too bad. Let's generate. So, but we use it as a launch pad to kind of have a quick little discussion on some properties of parabolas. So in this example, we're asked to graph the equation by plotting the points used. Okay, so they gave us several x values, and we have this function. Okay, so what I'm going to do is click on the graph and kind of move it over so we can see what we need to see. Can I go here? Can I see everything I need to see there? Okay. Oh no, it's not letting me do it. Well, for the x values, they want -2, 0, and 2. Okay, so notice another property of parabolas: the highest power on the x is going to be squared. That's usually indicative of a parabola, right? So if we're going to graph a parabola, that's going to be second row right. So we're going to click on that tool, and it asks us to plot the points. So when x is -2, right? Let me showcase this real quick. So what I'd like to do is break out my trusted Dusty Rusty. I got a virtual TI 83 Plus here. Boom. Oh, and like that. Okay. So a little bit of a side note. This is a random tangent. I've low-key, so I've been binge watching on Netflix several series. If you ever, now obviously you guys are busy, right? So I don't really expect you. Now it probably is not the best time, so I probably should wait closer to like the holiday season. But on Netflix, I would highly recommend one show was called The Mole. Oh my god, fantastic! And then another series which I'm in the middle of binging right now is called The Circle. I just started season 2. Season 1 like literally had me like I was like, oh my god, it was crazy. Like because you have like internet trolls and catfish and all this. So then now everybody be big and bad on the internet, but then what happens when you go face to face, right? Periodically, right? It was just really really interesting. So just if you ever have time, I would the circle is like 7 seasons and each episode is like an hour long, so it takes a long time. The Mole, you can binge watch it over the weekend, to be honest. I know that's probably not the best suggestion since you guys have work you need to be doing, but, and I have like all these ideas of things that I wanted to try with it. Oh come on, are you really stuck now? Come on. Okay, it's being stuck. Can I clear? That's not clear. There we go. Okay. All right. So now let me see if I can type this guy. We got y equals, let me see, 3 subtract was, let me see, s w withdraw. Okay. 3 minus 3x squared. 3, I think this is x, and hat squared. Squared is, what is that, I? Okay. So this is a TI 83 plus, and basically I went to my equation editor in the upper left hand corner, my y equals, and I just typed it in 3 minus 3x squared, right? So let me go back to home, and then CD. I'm gonna click on variables, and I'm gonna go over to y variables, and I'm gonna call on this function, and I want to evaluate this function when x is -2. Now, where's my negative? Question mark? No, that's definitely clear. I think that's -2, right? Okay, so basically what this is like, you're saying f of -2, right? And I should put a close parentheses. I'm just not going to because I know it'll work. So when x is -2, our corresponding y is -9, right? So let's see if we can plot that point. So let's see, -2, -9. We'll put this here. Okay, that's fine. And then when x is 0, and I think that one should be quick. You should be able to look at it and see that the answer is 3, but we can confirm it here. So when x is 0, okay, we confirmed that we got 3. So we're going to put a point there. Oh, I'm going to drag it. No, I'll drag it later. Okay, I'm going to have to drag them, right? Because I missed one. I'm going to drag this to the right position, and I think we can type it as well. Let me type this because sometimes edit coordinates. We wanted what, 0, 3? Turn that off. Yo, I literally just turned you off. Is it? Okay. 0 and 3. Oh well, she's throwing attention today. Yo, come on. All right. Nope. It's working. All right. Okay, so that's what we wanted for that point. Did I lose my image? Man, it is really not working today. Let me just restart this. I'm gonna go a little bit faster though. We probably lost our question, so that's okay. I think we were working on question 15 right here. Come on. Nope, it's a different equation, so I'm gonna go ahead and change it here. Instead of 3 minus 3x squared, it's 3 minus 2x squared. And I think our x values are still the same. Okay, that's fine. So then I'm going to click to enlarge. So then I'm going to evaluate this when x is -2. Okay, so -2, 5. Matter of fact, I feel like it might be easier. I'm just going to click on 3 random spots and edit them retroactively. So I think we got -2, -5. Okay, that was one of them. I think when x is 0, we're at 3. Maybe I'll do that one last. Nope, there it is. Okay. And then I think, wait a minute, this doesn't look right. -2, -5. Okay. And then if that's -2, -5, when x is 2, I think we'll also get -5 as well. Right there. Okay. Now, what we can do is, confirm the image. Like if we go to graph and it has the same windows, 10 in all directions, notice we get the same graph. And so that's using a TI 83 Plus. I'm gonna hit save and check. Let me check on you guys. Negative infinity, Q&A looks good. Okay, we're good. Okay, all right. So let's try another one. Generate. Let's go to question 28. Right here. So question 28 comes from section 1.1. It's question number 50 from the back of that section. Specify the center and the radius of the circle below, right? So this guy, I want to say, is given to us in the standard form of a circle, which is x minus h squared. So we're going to have to change the form a little bit, right? It's supposed to be in the form of x minus a number squared plus y minus a number equals the radius squared, right? So right now they're both plus. So we need to rewrite that plus as minus a negative, right? And so then that'll reveal the coordinates of the center of the circle for us, right? So then -5, -4 would be the center. Parentheses, -5. There we go. Now we're cooking with grease. Okay, so that was good. What does it enter? No, that didn't work. Okay. And the radius should be type an exact answer using radicals as needed. So it's important to follow the instructions, right? Let me say this disclaimer. If you get a question that says put your final answer to 3 decimal places or whatever, whenever you have decimals like that, do not round into the end. If you round like along the way, it's going to make your final answer more and more skewed, and you won't be able to get it right, or the chances of you getting it right are like practically zero. So when you're working these problems, if you ever crunch a number along the way and you get a long decimal, you got to write out that long decimal every time. You got to write out the long decimal every time until you get to the end, and then you round at the end. You cannot round along the way. Or what I tend to do is I like to keep it exact and then crunch it at the end. Do the calculation at the very end. I know students tend to shy away from that. Just because it can be a little bit challenging to keep up with. But if you're able to do it, that's the recommended route. That's what I prefer. But that's not the only way, right? Again, if you don't want to keep it exact until the end, then you need to write out that long decimal. Every time you get a long decimal, you got to write it out all the way out every time until you get to the end. Then you round. So this one, where it wants an exact result, so it's just going to be the square root of 19. All right. Generate. And again, like if you have a question from the exam or a question from the homework or a quiz or anything, you can bring it up and we can talk about it right now, work on it together. Let's go to question 60 right here. Like the main thing is I really just need everybody. There's 2 main things throughout the semester that I'm looking for from each of you all. One is just get your routine attendance credit by just being in the Zoom. And then 2 is making sure that you're submitting your assignments on MyMathLab promptly. I guess there's actually a third because this section does have a lab component. So then the third component would be that you've met up with Dr. Lamar and you're following her instructions regarding the lab, right? So hopefully everybody's doing that. Can you go over number 6 on the exam? Maybe screenshot it. Let me think. Like screenshot it in you can like email it to me or text me or something. Yeah, just screenshot it and send it to me and we'll pull it up. Because I think it might change around. It might move around a lot. So just screenshot your question. And let me know once you've sent it and I'll pull it up. Okay, while he's doing that, this question comes from section 1.2, question 34. Rewrite the given equation. Let me see, Mr. Williams. Oh, no. You haven't already done so. Okay. Sorry, that's not Mr. Williams. That's somebody else. Okay. They just happened to send an email while we were in class. Rewrite the given equation in slope-intercept form and then graph the line, right? Slope-intercept form, essentially, what we're going to do is slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b, right? So again, with lines, there are three equations that I feel like is a good idea to have ready to go. One is the slope formula, so rise over run, change in y over change in x. And then you have the point slope form. We typically use that when we're given a point and a slope. And then the final is the slope-intercept form, which is y equals mx plus b. So whenever I'm working with lines, I just try to have those three formulas ready to go. With this guy, we're just going to solve. I guess I'll write it out. I mean, we're solving for y. Yeah, I guess the best thing is just to write it out. Let me not be lazy. I'll go ahead and take some notes here. Okay, so I like to copy and delete. And let's hop over to our note taker. Right there. And we'd like to paste. Are you going to paste for me? No, did I not get my image? No, it's gone. Okay. All right, we'll try again. Try this one more time. Let's copy and delete. Why are you behaving like this today? We must be in Mercury retrograde. This stuff always so. I probably need to reboot like this or like not behaving. That's going to eat up even more class time. All right. Another thing I can do is if I go like this. Oh, be right here. Okay, I'll pull that up in just a moment. I got the image. It's going to be this one. Okay. All right, we finally got this image in here. And we'll let the next question be your exam question. All right. Where is it? All right. So rewrite the given equation in slope-intercept form, right? So let me just get a copy. So we have this 4x plus 5y minus 20 equals 0, right? So if we're going to solve for y, we want to basically isolate the y. We're going to use inverse operations to solve for y, right? So let's move things away from the y. And basically, in mathematics, whatever we do to one side of the equal sign, we do to the other. So like, for instance, if I do something like this, all right, and we have like the left versus the right. So for instance, the inverse operation of minus 20, I would add 20 on both sides of the equal sign, all right? I'm going to go ahead and do multiple steps. If I can also, if I want to move the x, if that's a plus or a positive 4x, the inverse operation will be minus 4x, right? So we're also going to go ahead and say minus 4x on both sides. Okay. So my equal sign comes down. Okay. A number plus its opposite, a number plus its opposite adds to 0. A number plus its opposite adds to 0. So the only thing left on the left is the 5y. And then on the right, it looks like we have this negative 4x plus 20. Sorry, my table is so loud. I'm going to move over here. Right. Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm a little bit scatterbrained today. Like with the shows, man, I got so many ideas. And I really don't want to sit on them because I sit on like these ideas like my whole life and nothing ever comes about it. Or somebody else, it goes into somebody else's mind and then they create it. So I'm trying to figure out how to capitalize on this stuff. I got ideas for like shows and basically like crossing multiple shows. But anyway, um, okay, right. So we're solving for y. So if we wanna do the inverse operation. We have 5 times y. The inverse operation of multiplication is division. So what we do to one side of the equal sign, we do to the other. We need to divide the whole side by 5. 5 divided by 5 is 1. 1 times anything is itself. So then on the left, we're left with y. Okay. Now, on the right, we're dividing by monomial. We're dividing by one term. So we can essentially distribute a 1/5. We need to distribute that 5, right? So when we do this, that's going to give us negative 4 over 5x plus 4, okay? So this should be our final result. Okay. Rewrite the given equation in slope index form, then graph. We got a negative 4 over 5x plus 4. We're just going to go with it for now. Negative 4 over 5x plus 4. Negative 4 over 5x plus 4. Equation, right? So if it's an equation, that means we need the equal sign. So y equals, again, follow. If we had put that other answer without the y equals, it was definitely going to be wrong. Okay. Let me check on you guys. There is a question. I'll check that in just a moment. Okay, so then to graph, so we're working with a line. Now, one property of lines is that the highest power on the variables is going to be a 1. So that usually indicates that it's going to be a line. So if we got it in the form of y equals mx plus b, the b is the y-intercept, so that's a great place to start. And then we use the slope to get to the second point. So we got a slope of negative 4 over 5. So that means we go down 4 and right 5. That's going to put us right here. I think that looks good. We got our y-intercept of 4. We went down 4 and right 5. I'm going to hit save. All right, notice as we trace it from the left to the right, it has a negative slope. We're going to check. We're Gucci there. Now, let me see. We got a question in the chat. Okay, number 6. So let me go ahead and pull this up. Let's see. I think it's here. There it is. I gotta disable that there as well. Let me open it. What is the center of the circle? Okay. It says find the center and the radius of the circle and find the x and y intercepts of the graph of the circle. Okay. Let me screenshot it. Nope. And I'll go like this. And come on. Thank you. And share it here. Can I just copy? That would be nice if I could just copy it. And let me see if it'll let me just drop it in here. No signs of life there. And nothing there. Okay. Then that means it's going to be here. Where's? Nope, it's not there either. Cancel. Let's try this one more time. Right here. I know it's there. I literally saw it just a moment ago. I just don't know why it's not showing up. There it is. Okay. Maybe I just had to reboot it. Okay. Anywho, we got it now. It might jump on us. Okay, center and the radius of the circle and x and y intercepts. Okay, so we kind of just did one like this. Let's see, find the center and the radius of the circle. Oh, this one is a little bit different. So this is an example where we need to do completing the square, right? We need to do completing the square. How does that affect it? Do we need that? Okay. So we need to factor this guy, right? So let's kind of get a copy. We got this 2x squared plus 2y squared plus 20y equals 0, right? So basically what it is that we have to do, there's a couple of disclaimers. Like one, we got to do completeness square. If it's giving you a hard time, I would suggest just do the best that you can. Don't waste too much energy on it. Like just don't waste too much energy. Like do the best you can and then release it if it's giving you too much of a hard time. Because it does consume a lot of energy, and like if you don't know this, you'll be okay. Now, but again, you want to do the best that you can. So then that's the first thing. So then with completing the square, the first thing is that the leading coefficient needs to be a 1. Now, we got lucky that everything is a multiple of 2. So we're going to divide the left and the right by 2. We're going to factor out a 2 from everything. I'm going to say this divided by 2 and this divided by 2. All right, and again, we're distributing a half. So that 2 is going to cancel each of these and turn this into a 10. 0 divided by 2 is 0, right? So from here, I'll do my x's. I'll do my x's. I'm on a dark color. I'll do it in this color. So we'll have x there, and then the y's we'll do in orange. So I'll say plus. Now, I don't think we really need any space there. We have this y squared plus 10y. I need some space on the back end equals 0. Okay. So now the burgundy, the x's, we don't really need to do completeness squared. That one is already kind of simple for us. So we can easily rewrite that one into this form. X minus 0 squared, all right? But on the orange, we definitely need to do completeness squared. Okay? Or that's orange. Right? So then completing the square, with completing the square, the first thing is that the leading coefficient has to be a 1. So a lot of times you have to like either factor out that or divide, both sides by that coefficient. But we've gotten the leading coefficient to be a 1 for the y's. So then the completing the square step comes in. We're going to say plus b over 2 squared. What we do on the left side of the equal sign, we also have to do on the right. Okay, so this is what I mean, like, completing the square can be a little bit involved. So our b in this case is going to be the 10. So we're going to add this 10 over 2 squared to both sides. So, because like if we were to subtract the 10 over 2 squared, it's like adding 0. So it's not going to change our answer. What we're doing is manipulating the form into something that we can use, okay? So let's simplify this down. So now we have y squared plus 10y. 10 divided by 2 is 5. Squared is 25. Okay. And on the right, I think we have 25 as well. So we essentially added 25 to both sides. Okay. So now on the left, the blue and the orange can be factored. Right. Hopefully you're seeing, let me bring down the first part. Okay. So hopefully this should, now disclaimer, I do make mistakes, right? So, it's up to you to check and make sure it's correct. I don't want to be like, well, we did this together and you got it wrong. I was like, look, I'm a spiritual being having a human experience like everybody else. I still make mistakes. So, we can, but again, you get unlimited attempts, there's always a way. So then the blue and the orange, we can factor. Hopefully you see it by now. Y plus 5 quantity squared, right? Two numbers that multiply to give us 25 and add to give us 10 are 5 and 5. And then on the right, we still have this. 25 we're going to rewrite it as 5 squared. Let me just condense this down just a bit. Okay. So now we were able to transform the original into the standard form of the circle. I'm gonna put a pin in this one because there's more to this. Let me see. It says find the center and the radius, and then find the x and the y intercepts. So instead of giving the answer here, I'm gonna pin it right here, and then basically from here it's a copy of what we did earlier, right? We did a similar question earlier where once we got it into the proper form, it was pretty much one step away from here. I'm going to let you take it from here. Now, I feel like I did the grunt work where we did the whole completing the square. We get it into this form. You still got a little bit more work you need to do, so I'm not just blatantly giving the answer, but I've gotten you over what I consider to be the most challenging part of that question, right? So hopefully you can take that and take it around with it, do whatever you see fit. Okay, but I'm glad you asked those kind of questions. Let me check on you guys in Zoom. We can delete this. Close. Come on. Let's see something. Mr. Davis. Okay, cool. Let's check here. Yeah. You can screenshot it, either email it to me or text me. Either one is fine. And just let me know once you send it so I can look for it. We only got about, honestly, like 3 more minutes. Hopefully, have you sent it? Let me see. Because if you send it, I can pull it up right now. I don't see it. Okay, we don't have a lot of time. All right. So I'm gonna say, let me make a note. Let me see. There's more here. More is needed though. More is needed. I just sent it. I'm assuming you emailed it because I don't see the text. There it is. Mr. Rodriguez. Okay. Center. Okay. Same one. You guys do not like these circle questions. I'm not mad at it. So we gotten plenty of, so hopefully we can help a few gentlemen with like what I feel to be the most challenging. This is going to be our last question for the day. I'm just pulling it up. Share. First, let me copy and then share. I want to airdrop. Okay. That's fine. That's what I was trying to avoid. Nothing. All right. So, yeah, there it is. Okay. All right. So there was a request for this one. That's fine. I ain't mad at it. We don't have a lot of time. I'm not here for a long time, maybe a good time, right? Okay. Ow. A little bit of karma. Find the center and the radius of the circle, right? So this is similar. Okay, but this one is a little bit different, right? Because now we have an additional x term and y. So let's see what we can do, right? But it has a lot of similar properties as the previous. So first thing I'm going to do is rearrange it to group my like terms, right? So anything that has x, I'm going to group them together. Anything that has y. I'm going to do my x's in burgundy, right? Because this is Morehouse, right? So then x squared minus 10x. Oh, we got homecoming coming up, so I just realized. I'm going to leave some space. I'm going to do my y's. I would do yellow, but I feel like yellow is hard to kind of show up. So that's why I keep doing orange for y. Come on. So our y's, we're going to say what? Plus y squared plus 4y, okay? Now that 25, I'm going to move it to the right-hand side. So I'm going to subtract 25 from both sides. I'm going to leave some space. I'm going to say equals a negative 25. Okay, so I just rearranged everything. I grouped my x terms together. I left a little bit of space. I grouped my y terms together. I left a little bit of space. And the constant term, I moved it to the right side of the equal sign by subtracting 25 on both sides, okay? So now, remember last time we said that the leading coefficient needs to be a 1. So we got lucky here because the leading coefficient is already a 1 in either case, okay? So going a little further, now it's time for the completing the square step, which is where we're going to say plus b over 2 squared. We're going to do the same thing here, b over 2 squared. And then 2 more times over here, b over 2 squared. I probably should use different colors or something, but that's okay. We're going to go with this because we're short on time. So for the burgundy, I guess I'll do it in burgundy. So we're going to say plus negative 10 over 2 squared, like that, plus negative 10 over 2 squared. So that way you know that came from the x term. For our y, our b is what? 4. So we're going to say plus 4 over 2 squared plus 4 over 2 squared. The main takeaway, whatever we're doing on the left, we're also doing on the right. So we're maintaining balance. We're not changing the final answer. We're just manipulating the form into something that we can use, okay? So let's crunch those numbers. So we got this x squared just comes down. This comes down. Negative 10 divided by 2 is what? Negative 5. Negative 5 times negative 5 is a positive 25. All right. So we know that this is positive 25. I see the clock. I'm trying to get you guys out of here. I'm trying to wrap this up and get you out. I do make mistakes, so you want to check and double check and triple check. Don't take my word for any of this stuff. Do your own research and decide for yourself. This is about critical thinking and learning how to make decisions for yourself. But you boost the odds of success in your favor. How did it go? Chance favors the prepared mind. You boost the odds of success in your favor when you the more you know, the more prepared you are, right? Let me try to wrap this up. 4 divided by 2 is 2. Squared is a 4. So here, this result is we're adding 4 on both sides. The equal sign comes down, and this comes down, right? A number plus its opposite, these guys add to 0, so they cancel each other out. The 4 persists, okay? So now we want to factor. If we focus on the burgundy with the red, right, can we factor it? Looks like it factors. Let me see. We got an x minus squared. What is it, 5? Because negative 5 times negative 5 is positive 25. Negative 5 plus negative 5 is negative 10. So that looks good. On the right, can we factor? Got a y and a plus squared. 2, right? Because 2 times 2 is 4. 2 plus 2 is 4. Okay. And on the right-hand side, the only thing that persists is that 4. So we usually want to write that as something squared. So that's going to be what? 2 squared. Now we got it into that form. Almost. There's still a few other things. But from this, again, the hardest part with these, again, there's more that needs to be done. More needs to be done. Okay. But from here, you can take it and mimic what we did with that first example, right? We had an earlier example where we said something about the signs. Then once you get it in the right form, it identifies the center and the radius for you, and hopefully you can take it from there. All right, guys, you guys are awesome. That was fantastic. Are there any other burning questions before we go our separate ways? Let me check the chats. Cool, he sent it. Q&A looks good. Let me go ahead and make a copy of this available, and let's do some closing announcements. Let me see. I'm going to share. Okay, let me just go ahead and share it. I'll share it. Let me share it now. Share. I want to send it. If I can find it right there. Come on. There we go. All right. Let me drop this where it needs to be so you guys can find it. This is traditional. College Algebra 1. Notes updated daily. Come on. Come on. And it should go right here. That looks good. So yeah, choose this folder and upload. Okay. So when this little window closes out, you'll now have an access to anything that you saw me writing. And so for the way you access it basically is what you go to Blackboard, open up our main folder. Then I think the second link says box link daily notes. You can find it in there, right? And so when you open it up, you'll see something that says notes. You can find basically every session that we've had. You can find it there. If let me see. So exam 1 is available now. On Wednesday, Wednesday's kind of a toss up. At a minimum, I need each person to just check in and get your attendance. We'll kind of play it by ear. Usually what I like to do is just let it be like in-class office hours. If you guys want more stuff like this, answering questions and working on it together, or, going through homework, we can. If you want to leave, as long as you check in, you log into the Zoom, hang out for maybe 5 or 10 minutes, I'm not going to keep you on Wednesday. Wednesday is kind of like a flex day before we reset and we start the next set of things, right? So again, if there aren't any burning questions, again, on Wednesday, we'll meet up and we'll play it by ear. And we're going to go ahead and end the session here. And from one beautiful mind to another, we'll meet back on Wednesday, same time, same place. Take care, guys. Enjoy your evening. Good luck on everything. Peace. Cue my outro music. I need some outro music. Okay, guys. All right. You guys look good. Take care.